Fadi Shanaah. He is the head of Smart Cities and Regional Director for Smart Cities and Healthcare. Fadi, please, over to you.
I'm really excited, to be here, and I'm really happy that I can see the young generations attending this kind of forums. I was in Jordan last week on a panel speaking about smart cities. It's led by Smart Dubai. And we had this young kid. He's like 10, 11 years old at the age of my son. And he was the most active, actually, audience. He was asking all the relevant questions. And at the end of the panel, we had some questions from the government there, from the municipalities. They were asking us, what do we need to do in order to start smart city project? What are the initiatives that we need to adapt and all of these things? And the answer from the panel was simply, ask your customer. And this is our customers. If you look about smart city projects, those guys are our customers. It's not myself. It's not all the old guys now trying to put strategy and everything. We're building this for the new generation. So thank you for coming, guys. And I would like to see you more interactive in those topics, because your opinion actually is very important for shaping the future. As you all know, we all now using all of the technologies, especially the young generation. So all the connected devices, connected cars, and all of these things that we have on a daily uses are producing data. The current situation, analysts, they're saying that we're at the average of 500 megabytes of producing data per person today. But this expected to reach to, by the economists, to 62 gigabytes in the coming few years, less than 10 years. So this is a massive amount of data will be produced by a single person every day. The prediction says that more than 300 million connected cars will be in the 2050. Each car will produce more than 4,000 gigabytes daily. This is a tremendous data will be produced by those connected cars. What does that mean? We're coming to a time, ladies and gentlemen, that we're living everything we do on a daily basis. We leave behind us a tremendous amount of data, trail of data actually. Something is useful, something we think is not useful. And this data will remain there for a long time after we are gone. So societies are now, with all these connected objects, cars, homes, wearable devices, everything that we see and we use on a daily basis. With that, the cities itself, it started to create its nervous system. And this system, we are as humans now, we are acting as sensors. We became human sensors into this smart city nervous system, I would say. Why data is important? In the recent actual situation happened in Syria, and refugees there, they were moving across Europe. The analyst says that if the data produced, the digital fingerprints produced by the search happened by those refugees during their move in the European nations has been collected and analyzed, this would have provided a very useful information to countries to prepare for receiving those refugees before they happen. In the healthcare, a very important procedure in healthcare, which is currently started to be used, is the DNA sequence. The DNA sequencing process actually enables doctor to decide on the right medicine to be given to the right patient. This process in the past used to cost more than $100,000 US. As we speak today, this, thanks to technology and analytics and processing, it has been reduced to $3,000. In few years from now, it's expected to reach to $40. What does that mean? This means that the healthcare data produced on a daily basis will be tremendously increased. The current percentage of growth in health data, as per IBM Watson, is more than 48% a year. So every year there's an increase of healthcare data provided. This is another source of tremendous data is produced. So the question is how to use this data, how to use the data that you are producing, how to use the data that you own and make it smart and take smart decisions from this data. This goes into creating a holistic approach. So the whole smart city concept is about creating a holistic approach of managing your data from the moment that you collect the data, then you transport the data, then You store the data and compute, secure it, analyze it, then finally create a collaboration and make decisions. Starting with the first step, collecting data. And collecting data here, as we have all experience, as we've seen, sensors, hundreds of thousands of manufacturers of sensors coming now to the market. Everything is connected, your fridge, your car, your phone, everything is connected. So collecting data from multiple sources is a very important. And what kind of data? The next step is transport. And the telcos, like do ourselves also, we're coming from a telco background. It's in our DNA. So transport is very important. What kind of connectivity we need to transport this data? This question, maybe as Jihad said, it's not relevant for people they want to create smart city. You need to have everything. I mean, you have multiple sources of data. They connect in different methods of connectivities. All the traditional fixed and wireless connectivities, yes, required. But what's also important, and this is the role of the telcos within countries, is to enable the fit for the purpose connectivity available. So looking into a new technology, like the LP1 technology, for example, into connecting sensors. The third step is to store and compute. And this is a very important aspect. So we always face it in any of our projects with many clients. Where I'm going to host the data? Shall I build my own data center? Or I have it on the cloud? Is it public? Is it private? The answer to this, it can be all. The thing is, what kind of services you need to actually conduct? Where do you need to have the data? Of course, as long as you have the right, I would say, privacy, security aspects and everything in place, you can work in multiple methods. In many projects, we worked in a hybrid model where clients, they wanted to have their data hosted locally, but still analytics and everything can be done on the cloud. So we created kind of a hybrid model. And one of those examples is the European Space Agency, where we have partnered with them to create this kind of hybrid private public cloud. And we're connecting data from all those satellites, helping them into managing it on a daily basis. The fourth step is security. And we talked about security, and security is a very important aspect. When we talk about security here, it's not about technology again. Security is a very, I would say, it should be a very holistic approach from security perspective. So having the right technology to secure the data from the moment it's collected from the sensor up to the platforms is very important, but as well as also having the right policies in the place. And the fifth step is to analyze the data. So once you have the data, you need to start creating a meaningful use of this data. And this is a very important step in the journey of the data. So analytics. One of the interesting examples that we have done with a global operator for heating in Europe, that we have been serving them for ages, but we have created then recently in a partnership with Microsoft Azure and a machine learning and analytics, predictive analytics into the data that we have collected, the historical data that we had from this client and all the new data, and also cross this with the data coming from manufacturers for spare parts, that we have been able now to predict failures in equipments before it happens. The final thing is to create this collaboration and make decisions. And this is where Dubai has been actually leading on that one. And the Pulse platform that Jihad was talking about is a very good example of that, because this is where the government decided into collecting all of this data from the different government agencies and make it open for the public so they can use it in creating something useful and meaningful for the economy and for the country. Data, when it's collected, also the important thing is that will help city operators into taking decisions, and sometimes decisions can be done automatically. So if you create the right algorithms and the right sequence of actions need to be taken, creating this command and control center, which is also something that we will have in the Silicon Park project, will be actions will be taken automatically. Technology, as we said, it's not everything. You can have the latest technology, you can have everything you need from sensors, AI, robots, machines, and everything. But still, an important aspect of this is how to build it. It's all about partnerships. So as you have seen and experienced, it's not anymore one vendor, one company can do everything. No one can do a smart city project. It's not a box that you buy. It's a framework that brings multiple partners together in delivering this project to the citizens. What's the human aspect is very important. What's the user journeys? What are the things, the services that you need to select for that people they need to have in this city? Then we go into the integration and operation. So relying on partner is very important. So you need a partner that can help you into integrating these multiple technologies. I mean, when we talk about smart services, smart systems, every system we have now is smart. The idea is that how to make these systems talk to each other, how to create the integration. Integration is the key word and the key aspect of delivering a smart city projects. But not only integration, is also how to help the city operators later on in the operation. So not to create a complex integration that will result in a very complex operation, which will result in a dissatisfaction of customers later on. And finally, we don't stop there. This partner that you need to partner with also, he has to be your partner for innovation. And innovation is a very important aspect of a smart city framework. You don't build a smart city and forget about innovation, because innovation is actually a key that will keep the smart city project alive. Finally, if you look at the steps that we have considered into any smart city projects, those 6 steps, you have the right partner for consulting, for innovation, for integration and operation. This is where you guarantee to have a very successful smart city project.
Yeah, it's going to connect with the United Arab Emirates.
See, a very good question. I mean, this is the thing. Currently, what we have described in those projects are smart district projects. So you create a district, you increase the level of smartness within this district, and you have a different livable experience within the district. Now, connecting cities together or districts together, these are initiatives run on a government level. And I think if you look at the area that we live in, the Middle East, you will see Dubai is leading as an example, because they have taken this initiative from top down, and they have actually put the right structure for it, and with all the regulations around it. So Dubai is heading other countries, I would say, in terms of the level of progress. So I think we will experience it in Dubai before other countries. Now, that doesn't mean that other countries in the region, they are not taking steps on that, but it's still fragmented from I would say, regulation perspective and everything. At one day, I cannot tell you which day will be this, but regulations will reach to the same level where cross countries data sharing will happen.
How can the blockchain gonna serve the data nervous system that you mentioned? And is it already implemented, or there is a plan to implement it in the future?
I mean, again, taking an example of Dubai, I'm very proud living in Dubai, because this is where things happen, because initiatives come top down. I mean, this is where actually it's a key message. I mean, when you have on the leadership this kind of level of awareness and taking these brave decisions by adapting technology before all the other countries there, things works. And this is what you have seen. I have discussions with people coming from the US, from Europe. They're always been amazed about the level and how quick Dubai has evolved in terms of smart services.
As we talk about this amazing initiatives that are going on, I think as a community, we need to constantly be calibrating and checking ourselves in terms of data ethics and in terms of our privacy.
Yeah, I agree. This topic, unfortunately, it's not addressed on the right level globally, I would say.
Absolutely, and I'm saying it is a global issue, because a lot of these companies have so much data calibrated down to that level. So as consumers, we need to keep raising our hands and saying, guys, how's my data being used? and please put the AI machine with the right ethical balance, which is analyzing our data. And that's really, really important. Thank you very much indeed. A big hand for Fadi.
Thanks.